Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. How you all doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Over time on this channel, I have been posting videos on negative side of relationship and all that. So today I decided to do differently by posting positive stories, happy marriage stories and all that. So before I get right into the post and people sharing their stories and all that, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Let's get started. People who are actually happy in marriage, what's your secret? So this was a question that was posted on Reddit and a lot of comments were left underneath this post. I'll just focus on those comments that gave suggestions, those comments that spoke about their own journey and what they did for their marriages to be successful and their relationships to be successful. So apparently this is basically how to navigate your marriage or relationship for a successful story. No marriage is perfect. No marriage is 24/7 happiness. It's about finding someone who makes you want to be the best version of you and then respecting each other. Respect meaning give and take, sharing responsibilities, no cheating, communicating when something is wrong, etc. Let's talk about the respect. I place respect above love. I believe if someone that respects you wouldn't go out there to cheat on you, but you would hear men cheat and say they love their wife. No, I'd rather you respect me than you love me. These days, people don't really understand what love means. They just use the word love anyhow. If you love someone, you wouldn't want to hurt the person. Do you get? But like I said, respect comes first for me, then love. Communication is very important in relationships as well. We had a pretty dark year. Went to marriage counseling. It was an absolute game changer. Best decision ever made. I feel like I got my best friend back. This person is talking about how a marriage counselor assisted in bringing back his marriage. Not everyone buys that idea of going to tell your problem to someone else or in the name of having a marriage counselor advise you. Some people are totally against it. Some people have their bias towards marriage counselors. Some people would say, oh, the marriage counselor is not married, so why should I go tell the marriage counselor my problem? You would also hear some people say, oh, the marriage counselor is a divorcee. People have also raised the question of why is it that a lot of marriage counselors are divorced? Why? If they have the right recipe for marriages and relationships, why are they not having long-lasting relationships and all that? I also have similar comments like that. People talking about how they don't have faith in marriage counselors and all that. Let me read this particular post about how a marriage counselor also helped this man and his wife. My wife and I benefited from it. It brought us closer together and introduced us to the idea of taking baths together. It allows us to relax and talk about many things that we otherwise don't have to if or would be interrupted doing. It also has led to some great sexy times. We have been married almost 19 years. So this particular one I'm hopping onto is very lengthy. Basically, this person is out here advising us, telling us what to do and what not to do, what they did in their own marriage, why they have a successful marriage. These are the 4 main points this person outlined, and he went on to explain further. So I will start off with the very first one and then we'll see his further explanation on them. Go on regular dates. Speak their love language consistently. Knowing how to be happy on your own and having the boundaries to have someone else to add to that. Daily communication. Important. So let's start off with the very first one, going on regular dates. My marriage hit rocks like 6 months in. The honeymoon period was over and we couldn't figure out why. Then we realized that we had stopped dating, LOL. Got married, moved in together, were together all the time outside of work, but no more effort for planned dates outside of the house. The solution was weekly scheduled dates. As unromantic as that sounds, it's actually awesome. We take turns for who plans it, typically food and activity, dinner and movie, etc. So he said it's been working for them for 15 years now. Also, relationships are like plants and need to be watered regularly. A big reason people quit both romantic relationships and jobs are because they don't feel appreciated. Everyone has their own way of feeling loved. The 5 love languages book highlights The core ones are words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time spent, physical touch. There are overlap, but people tend to grow up feeling loved in a certain way. So maybe they are a date and vacation person, or a chocolate and flower person, or whatever. First step is asking your partner what their love language is and finding out what that means to them. Second step is expressing love in their language to them on regular basis proactively. It's so easy to coast in a relationship once things get settled, but again, relationships are like plants and need to be watered regularly to stay alive. That's on period. Another big one is learning how to be happy on your own. We've all seen those domino effect relationships. We can fix a relationship by getting engaged, by getting married, by buying a house together, by getting a dog, by having a baby. I really like this article about Will Smith. So he was making reference to an article that was written about Will Smith and his wife, Jada Pinkett. I like this insight on relationship happiness. Asked her, what does she think is one of the best revelations that she had about love? She said, you cannot make a person happy. And I thought that was a real deep idea. Will admits. This is from the article about Will Smith. You can make a person smile, you can make a person feel good, you can make a person laugh, but whether or not a person is happy is deeply and totally out of your control. So it depends on an individual to make themselves happy. Your happiness is not dependent on your partner. So it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. This is also an excellent quote. I remember the day I retired. I literally said to Jada, that's it. I retire. I retire from trying to make you happy. I need you to go make yourself happy and just prove to me that it's even possible, he says. And after we cracked up, we started talking about how we came into this false romantic concept that somehow when we got married that we would become one. And what we realized is that we were two completely separate people on two completely separate individual journeys, and that we were choosing to walk our separate journeys together. Happiness was her responsibility and my happiness was my responsibility. It's important for you to maintain individuality in your relationship. Don't go into a relationship and lose yourself and then you want to become your partner. You want to walk your partner's own journey. Everyone on this planet has got their own life journey. Everyone on this planet has got their own purpose. I say this all the time. Don't get into a relationship and lose yourself. You know why? Because you end up being unhappy and resentful. Your job in a relationship isn't to make someone else happy. It's to provide a loving environment where they feel safe, happy, and have room to grow. Likewise, it's no one else's job to make you happy, because that falsely gives up control of happiness to someone else, meaning you become entirely dependent on how they treat you and how they treat you for how you feel, which is ridiculous. So that means we have to erect and enforce two very specific boundaries. Here are the boundaries. Knowing how to make ourselves happy on our own independently, allowing other people to add to our personal happiness, which also means putting up boundaries on our self-worth and self-respect in order to reject behaviors that don't comply with our personal set of rules. A lot of people get stuck in abusive relationships for long periods of time for a lot of reasons, including lack of boundaries. Okay guys, you spoke about the love language and going on regular dates. Sometimes we get too relaxed in relationship, in marriages. We feel like, okay, we're already together, and then we forget that we need to keep the flame burning. You know how you felt during the honeymoon stage when you first started? You were up and about doing things, going to pizza place, having dinner together, going to restaurants, going for movies and all that. And then when you got settled in the relationship or marriage, you just forgot all that and then everything becomes boring. Why don't you keep the flame burning by doing those things that give you joy and happiness? Why? So you have to go back and ask yourself, what were the things I did when we first started? Why did we fall off? What's going on? Why are we where we are at this current stage? Why am I feeling bored? You need to ask yourself those questions and go back to those things that you did in the beginning that made you feel great, made you feel happy in the relationship. Yeah. In the case of getting a counselor, I've already spoken about that. If it is your thing, you should consider doing it. If you're having too much chaos in your relationship, I think it's time for you to bring a third party, a wise, professional third party that is neutral. It's important for you to go for someone that is neutral. You don't want to bring a family member that is already biased. The chances of your family member taking a side is very high. You don't also want to go out there washing your dirty linen in front of your friends, because I tell you, friends these days are mischievous. It's just so hard for you to tell if your friend has good intent for you or not, because most of the time they come around smiling and looking all happy, but I tell you, some of them are not really your friends. They don't want the best for you. Do you get? So just to avoid all them stuff, people gossiping, using your story to talk about you, seek a good professional counselor. The case of love language, I already spoke about using zodiac sign to figure out your partner's love language. You can ask your partner that if you know exactly what your love languages are, or just those things they love people doing for them, or those things they love doing. Do you get? Yeah, you can tap into that. Take it upon yourself to do that. Relationship is like a plant, like the man rightly said. You need to water the plant every day. When you wake up in the morning, you look at this plant. Oh my God, this plant is gorgeous. What can I do to make it look more beautiful? You water it. What are those things that you need to use to water your plant, your relationship? Love, respect, communication, a lot of things. Those beautiful things that relationships need, you water it. It's important to place respect, number one, because I believe if you respect someone, there's a lot of things you wouldn't do to the person. You wouldn't cheat on the person. This is what I believe. If you respect someone, you wouldn't cheat on the person. I've heard men say, I love my wife even if I cheat on her. So who wants love? Who needs love? I believe in action. I'm an action person. I don't believe in words of mouth, plenty talk. No, show me. Don't tell me. Just show me. I want to see. You get? So if you say you love me, show me. Love. What is love to you? Love is care. Love is respect. You understand? So if you love your partner, water your partner. See your partner as a plant. Do all them good things. Water them every single day, morning and night. You understand? And don't be that person that sits and receives. When they give to you, learn to also reciprocate, because you don't want your partner to be resentful. You don't want that. You can't just be the only one receiving. Why don't you also give? I hope someone has learned one or two in this talk. Also remember, happiness is on you. Your happiness is on you. It's not on your partner. It's not your partner's responsibility to make you happy. They can make you smile, they can make you feel good, but it is your responsibility to make yourself happy. Do not place your happiness on the next person. You know why? Because you are giving them the control over your life, and it can be overwhelming for your partner. Think about that. Put yourself in their shoes. If someone hands you the key of their happiness, how are you going to feel? What if you fall short? They're going to blame you. You're going to be under pressure. So you don't want that. So it is your responsibility to be happy. And like the poster said, set boundaries. Okay, guys, this is it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.